Hello, hello, hello. Greetings and salutations to you all. I hope everyone is doing as healthy and as well as they can be during this time. And let's get into some astrology. Okay, so today is Tuesday or Tyr's Day, April 13th. Tyr, also known as Mars, the Mars aspect of the Viking pantheon. And Tyr was the god of war in a defensive aspect, because in war you'll have the offense and the defense, and Mars, I believe, is the defensive aspect of war. So it is charged with the task of defending the kingdom, so to speak. There. So let's take a look at what Mars is doing currently. And Mars is at 23 degrees Gemini, which Mars has about 6 degrees and some change to move into Cancer. But the aspect of Mars and Gemini is interesting because Mars representing our passion and our drive and the things that drive us and the things that we are passionate about. While Mars is in Gemini, we are learning about the duality and the indecisiveness and the hang-ups and the traps, the temper trap, so to speak, that can be found with Mars and Gemini, because Gemini being ruled by Mercury. Gemini is the sign of the twins, and then which is why Gemini is the sign of communication. Well, not why, but the reason that that Mercury has been assigned to Gemini as the god of communication, or the role of the communicator there, because the twins are always going back and forth. I always think about Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland with Gemini, because especially with Mars here, it kind of intensifies that kind of impatience and that kind of like, I don't want to say naggy, but just that Quicksilver kind of ability to like turn around and just like, you know, so we kind of have the indecisiveness, the kind of the irritability factor there as well. And also, I call this the delay fish aspect because of all of these things that are happening, the indecisiveness, the argumentativeness, kind of the irritability that comes along with that. It's not very conducive to an environment that things can really get going off the ground in a productive way. So this kind of adds a bit of a delay there. It's also the comedian aspect, because things can be very, very funny with Mars and Gemini because of that wit and that sarcasm and those funny kind of moments that can pop up with Gemini and Mars together. So keep that in mind for this next week. I think is about the time it'll take, maybe a few days actually, for Mars to move into Cancer, where we'll have a new and different thing to learn and focus on. All right, so let's move back around to Aries, where we have Venus, the Sun, Mercury, and all of those other heavenly bodies there. Leading the pack into Taurus. It looks like Venus is stationed at 28 degrees Aries, so it only has another degree and some change left before that transition. And with Venus and Aries, we have really learned about the way that we are connecting to our artistic ways. Okay, so with Venus ruling the arts, Venus rules sports, and all of those things that we pursue in an active way that bring a sense of pleasure and fulfillment and creativity out in us to interact with. So Venus as ruler of the arts, Venus in Aries, we have a really strong connection with Venus let me go back here. Venus in Aries is a hard on your sleeve kind of person, very hardworking. Venus is the boss in Aries, as Aries is the initiating and the igniting principle. Venus in Aries. This is the boss lady. This is, she knows what she wants. She knows what she's going after, but can be a bit commandeering, as Aries is known for that that leader aspect. Aries the ram, very headstrong. So with that aspect, we are learning about how to be the boss, how to really use our strengths to help us to be leaders and learning about the arts that we have, or the things that we have passion with, that connect us to that pleasure principle in life, so to speak. And then we have the sun, our expression in Aries, which is at 22 degrees of Aries, or excuse me, yeah, 23 degrees of Aries. So the sun in Aries expressing that willingness to participate, that momentum, that ignition, that initiating aspect there. So we are showing our readiness and our willingness and to get out and interact with life in the way that we prepare, and the way that we plan, and the way that we set the guidelines for the motion that we are about to take place and interact with. So with Mercury here as well is the extra communication there, because Mercury rules thoughts, communication. So with Aries being the kind of mental aspect, Aries the ram, the headstrong, which is how it gets that name, because rams, well, they have those horns and they butt the other rams with their horns. Everything is about the head with rams and Aries. So with Mercury and Aries, we have that extra level of mental mental capacity there, I guess I want to say. I can't really find the words that I'm looking for, but with the extra mental capacity there, our thoughts and communications are ramped up during this time, and are geared towards what we are going to start, what we want to initiate, what we want to get going, the things that are in our head, how can we get them out, those sort of things. So that will be continuing for a time until we get into Taurus, and where I feel like Mercury takes an even extra kind of headstrong turn with the bull aspect, which is a little bit different, but different topic for a different video. Okay, so we've got Venus, Sun, Mercury that I've talked about, so we just need to move on to Saturn and Jupiter, which Saturn is the karma, is the work. So with Saturn in Aquarius, what is the work that we need to do as an individual, that is, and as it applies to the collective? So what is it that we are going to do as individuals that is going to contribute and fulfill our hopes and dreams? But it's also going to have to do with the collective, because there's nothing that we can do as individuals that doesn't involve the collective in some sort of way, especially when Jupiter is involved as our finances, and Jupiter is the expanding factor also. So with Jupiter in Aquarius, we have the expansion of our hopes and dreams, the expansion of friendships and finances and things like that. So it can be a bit overwhelming too during this time. So people can be very inclined to spend more, to want to hang out with friends more, as Jupiter in Aquarius. But also, as we talk about the karmic aspect with Saturn in Aquarius, with Jupiter there too, we are also focusing on the friendships and the alliances that we can make during this time. So I think that's really important to focus on for people, or for people to take into consideration as well, is how can I make more connections? How can I be more community, not necessarily community oriented, which is a great thing, but be more open to forming more bonds and alliances with people, and getting out and just learning more about my fellow man. You don't necessarily have to go out with the intention to just make friends, but just see something from another person's point of view, learn about another culture, anything that makes you more well-rounded in your community and out with the collective is only going to, be more beneficial in the long run, because that just gives you more knowledge, more help, as more help for yourself to relate to those around you and the world around you. So all good things, I think, in my opinion. And I think I have covered everything here. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a great day, and I will see you soon.